Hello and welcome to this week's Wild Spirits News. My name is Sibylla and today I'm going to ask you, what is your desire? The question, what do you want, is a familiar question when you're involved in coaching. It is used for goal setting, for creating action plans and all these things. So when I was in a workshop and the trainer asked us, what do you want? It sounded familiar to me at first. But then she went on to explain that she was not interested in finding out what we thought we wanted or what common sense tells us to want, such as a good job, security, a family or a family home, these things. She said she wanted to explore our actual desires. And we went on in that workshop to explore the difference between wants and desires in some depth. And I realized in the course of this that this is highly relevant for finding and pursuing your passion, or multiple passions as well. Now at this point you're probably wondering what the difference is anyway. If you want something, you desire it, or if you desire something, you also want it. But there is a difference. Wanting is something that is in your mind, maybe in your feelings as well, but it is something that you can think of. That it's also something that you can change when you change your mind, or if you come up with a good reason to change what you want. So you want this particular type of house, and then you realize it's not actually suitable for your family, so you're deciding on a different type of house, or a house in a different area. Now you want something different. Now desire happens more on a physical level, and the easiest way to explain this is actually with sexual desire, because we're probably all familiar with that, at least unless you're completely asexual, which is a fairly rare thing to happen. Desire at least it doesn't begin on a conscious level. It just happens, and it happens in your body. Now, we are still brought up in a culture that tends to dismiss the body as inferior. I think that is a great shame, because while we're alive, we do have a body, and the body can be incredibly helpful in creating life and making decisions that are right for us, because the body gives us so much feedback. We are not really trained to recognize these things, so it can be a bit of a challenge, but there are some ways in which you can learn to tune into your desire and get some feedback on whether you are on the right track, or if you're not, what you should be desiring instead. Now, in order to get you more attuned to your body and its feedback and its signals, and in extension then your desires, I've developed a 4-step process. Now this is something you'll have to stick with for some time. If you're 20, 30, 40, 60 or 80 years old, you have spent that many years in a society and in a world that does not value the body, and definitely does not teach us to listen to our bodies and listen to their feedback. The body actually gives us feedback 24/7, and most of the time we're not really aware of it. So here's a 4-step process to start the journey, the very rewarding journey of becoming more aware and more in tune and more attuned to your body and its signals and feedbacks. Step number 1 is to regularly check in with your body. And you're going to need to remind yourself of that, because you're not going to remember. I'm telling you this from experience. Now, if you have a smartphone, go to the clock and go to the alarm clock, and you can set an alarm that repeats daily. So set 3 alarms, one for the morning, one for noon or early afternoon, and one for the evening, whenever it suits you. Make it 3. If you're very ambitious, you can make it 5, but 3 is a good number to start with. Whenever this alarm goes off, you switch off the alarm, and then you get comfortable. Take a couple of deep breaths all the way into your lower belly. Relax. Calm your thoughts. And then gently check in with your body. Check in for bodily clues, and then ask your body how it feels. And that goes more into the mood, whether your body is in a state of alert, maybe very tense and nervous, or whether it is in a calm state or in a relaxed state or in a loving, it feels very loving. The body has as many moods as your mind or your emotions do. So Learn to check in, do that 3 times a day. Have a lot of patience with yourself. Be very patient, kind, and forgiving with yourself and with your body. But you will learn to perceive and to interpret the signals of your body. Now, the second step is to learn to read your body's signals. And you do that by checking in when you make a decision, or when there's something, even if you just decide, will I go out or stay in tonight? Will we watch this movie or the other? Rather than just think about it, again, check in with your body and think of those options, and then pay attention to how you feel. It's often surprisingly easy to make a decision. And again, start with the trivial everyday decisions, but you can later on, when you get used to this, when you get some practice in this, you're going to even do this with life-changing decisions. And it's one of the most fail-safe ways of knowing that you're doing what's right for you, what's the right thing for you at that particular time, because your body feedback does not lie and it's always spot on. So whatever decision you make, just feel in your body whether it feels a bit sinking, or whether it feels exciting, whether it feels a little fluttery, or, you know, there's so many, whether you feel warm or maybe tingly or maybe completely disinterested or just tired and detached. Whatever happens, ask your body and base your decisions more and more on that feedback. And then you're ready for step number 3, which is to ask for your needs and listen to the answer to your body. And that is not just the body. You can actually do that maybe once a day, maybe in the evening when you come home from work, or whatever suits you. You sit down and you ask your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit what they need. So you ask, hey body, what do you need right now? And listen for the answer. Be patient. Once again, be very patient. Your body might need some rest. It might need some hydration. It might need to move. Whatever, it might need a hug. You know, just learn to listen and then try to provide whatever the need is. Because then you're ready for the 4th step, and then you can explore your desires. And that is an entire new video, but it works in basically the same essential way that the first 3 steps work. You ask your body what it really desires. And whenever you pursue a passion, see where that passion is, because some passions are fleeting and they might be exciting and fluttering in the stomach, but they're not really deep in your gut and in your blood. This sounds so weird and poetic when I say that, because we don't have language to describe our body's feedback. You'll have to find your own way around there. I'm sorry, I can't help much. I can only tell you that if you practice checking in with your body, asking it for answers, listening to the feedback and learning to listen, to hear and to interpret that feedback, then you will see which passions are actually desires and which passions will relate to also your purpose in life, and which are absolutely worth pursuing and making any effort for. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, then consider joining the tribe of wild spirits at wildspiritscoaching.com. All you need to do is fill in the little form there, and then you'll get weekly Wild Spirits news with lots of information, recommendations, and some exclusive offers only for subscribers. The newsletter is 100% spam free, that's guaranteed. So go to wildspiritscoaching.com, or you can Google Wild Spirits Coaching, that'll get you to my website as well.